Lyn and I are getting a divorce. This is garbage. Datoy brought flowers for Lyn.
It's the flowers. There are no flowers here. It's leaves.
Today is cooking day for the guys. Anyway, we had enough rain overnight, and Rosindo, you know, if he doesn't want to work, there's always an excuse, right? But that means we got to run and get the crew because we agreed to pay him to pick up the crew or bring the crew. Okay, I will give you a quick walk around here, guys. Okay, so here's our test that we did. Twofold. One, do the test out where we never walk down here, right? So we don't really care about the exposure. But what have we come to realize? Well, here, the guys that worked with the AEC suggested a skim coat of adhesive and cement mixed together and then put that on. Epic fail. Second was waterproofing with cement. All that did was turn the concrete extremely dark, and that's 2 coats of paint. So that's not a starter because it doesn't really help, guys. Then we did the putty, which is here. Now what we decided was that's good enough for inside the house. And of course, these imperfections that you see here, the second coat would take care of that. And then over here was the FlexiBond and paint. So what we're going to do here is we will do the FlexiBond and then paint. And then the guys will go through and touch up these spots with putty and then do the second coat of paint. So, and again, remember guys, this is on the north and south side of the house where we will never be walking down it. And if we do, it's not the focal point, right? So that's what we've decided to do. Again, some of this is a cost savings thing to try and stay tighter to this budget. And shortly here, Lyn and I are going to update you on what our big change is going to be here and why we have decided we're going to get this much, much closer to finish than just strictly a lockup stage. Tuesday, the window comes in. So we will get this big master window in there. And I was going to put windows in this week, but we will hold off on that. I want this putty all done. I want all the sanding done, you know, that type of stuff done so that, you know, it doesn't get caught up in the window channels and stuff. And then, you know, you're spending decades trying to get the dust out. Okay, not too much to update on the inside of the house. The big key is to make big, big batches of putty and get at her. Philippine Forex, haven't done one in a while. I think the main message here right now is get ready for next week when governments are back in fully. I expect this thing in the U.S. to be turned over before the you know, mid of the month because it has to. You know, they know it as well. This is a lot of posturing, and I know there's issues that they want to get through. However, policy issues that tend to come out in the new year, confidence issues around currencies, etc. And then that leads me to, and then the market will move, but that leads me to where the Euro US is. And as you know, the Euro has been strengthening. Germany did some major projects right before the major cold of the winter, and that has instilled a lot of confidence. It kind of puts the war of fuel between Russia and Europe. It has really put it in the bin, as it were, as the UK guys would say. So yeah, everything is pretty much flat. The euro is gaining now, guys. If you look at the charts, you know, there's some wiggling going on, but the major thing is that it has been recovering. And again, you know, the euro US wants to be flat. It's easier from a trade situation with the rest of the world. And it has been moving in that direction for a long time. Gone are those days where the euro US will show, you know, a €2 versus $1 day. Those are gone. It wants to be par. And so, you know, it's just important. It's important to note that. Now, my concern with the peso is we are all still doing very well, regardless of what the US euro is doing. And that is because, you know what? Every new administration has to show things from an international standpoint that bodes confidence with the economic groups out there that are citing where in the world are good places to invest. All I see is a lot of internalizing right now. And, you know, and again, I've only really tracked it for about 12 years, right? And even then, it's only been the last little while. So, but, you know, the economic papers out there have been citing this quite a while now. And the big one is this OFW bubble. The bubble, a lot of economic groups are saying that it's going to burst, guys. And the money that flows into this country is going to start dropping off dramatically. Pure survival in the country where the OFW is living is starting to come to roost. Okay, not as many people are sending as much money back. In one of my videos about, probably back in November, maybe October timeframe, I was up near Palawan over here, and the guy was coming out, and he stood right in front of the window. I wasn't even engaged with him, but he said, "God, you got to start sending more money." That was his answer. I said, "Hey, dude, have you got skills or whatever? Maybe I can, you know." No. They just got to send more money. So he wasn't interested in work. He just wants the brother, the sister, the aunt, the uncle, whoever's sending money to send the money. Lyn never sends money. Absolutely nothing. You know, is there times where, you know, a gift or a party or whatever? Sure. But there's no ongoing sending of money. That's how she's moved her family forward right there. Because that's her coin, guys. You have no idea how proud of her. You know, I'm just so proud of her. Okay? This was never the issue. She wants to do this. Okay, so that fits nicely into Philippine Forex. And Lyn and I have an announcement coming up. As Lyn continues to peel off her flowers from Datoy, and boy, oh boy. Anyway, guys, our news. So, upon starting this project, let's back up a little bit. What we noticed last year was a lot of people that owned land, and I'm talking about sections of land here, there, and here. And even if they just own one piece of land, what they're doing is slicing it all up, and many of them are selling it, etc., etc. And the net result is a lot of these people who are fairly well-to-do own a house somewhere, and all they're doing is selling land, you know, every couple of years, and then they can live out their life, but they're not thinking of the future family needs at all. And that's the one thing I've noticed in the last 10 years, Lyn, is how much the middle class is moving out of the house. That whole birth to death in the same house is disappearing very, very quickly. And yet, you know, COVID brought the family back together for a while. So some of that is still continuing. But Lyn and I have always been, you know, from Forex, Philippine Forex and such, that I'm all about budgeting, you know, stability, all of that type of thing. So on this piece of property, Lyn and I have always thought that, you know, maybe this is the place we could have hunkered down if 2019, 2020 ended up being the zombie apocalypse, and we would have done like everybody else has done here, and we would have just gone fishing every day. But of course that didn't happen. So do you want to let people know what some of our plans were here?
Yeah, it can be a resort, staycation.
Yeah,
We can
a
do
very
that.
very popular thing here,
So,
guys, is
yeah.
staycation, where you have your house during the week, and on the weekend you entertain people and get some cash flow.
Yeah.
So we've had lots of conversation with family, and as you know, it's Lyn's coin that's building this house. She worked hard the last, 8 years in Canada. So,
Yeah.
um, so what the family has shockingly said already is we're ready to start now, and so that's a bonus. Um, for me, it's a bonus because we're only here for 6 months of the year, guys, and in all of that, I want to travel. Right? I want to travel. It just doesn't fit with me sitting still in one location too much. So I'm ecstatic. Um, we will have a room here. As a matter of fact, we might just set this garage up as our ground zero for the travel, and the family will be here. Um, but the house was also designed in mind with, kind of one suite in the house with its own CR. In this case, we would call it the ensuite, with a TV room that could have been converted to a bedroom and could be in the future if the land were to ever sell or whatever. Um, sometimes the opportunity is to sell and then acquire again low and build again for the future. So, but there's ample room here to put, say, a little fourplex in here.
Yeah.
With
Even bungalows.
Yeah, what is quite common here, especially in the northern Cebu area, is just rooms. There's no washroom, guys, no nothing. It's just sleeping quarters,
Rentals. Yeah.
rentals, and that's where the staycation comes in. And all you do is, you have a washroom that can be used in the house. Maybe we attach one to the 4 units. But that's what our goal is and always has been. I just figured it was 3 to 5 years down the road. Um, but Lyn's family, they know what she's like. Even Alona last night was talking about how Lyn has been the champion of the messaging, which is save your money. You don't just keep spending your money.
Yeah.
There's a
Now
lot
she's
to
learning.
yeah, there's lots to enjoy without having to blow it all.
Exactly.
Let's go see how the crew's doing. Okay, so I took a bucket and I skim coated the wall. Clearly there's one fellow we're gonna have to relocate next week. I'm not gonna have him skim coating, it's too frustrating to watch. Okay, let's have a look. So they've got this posty simulation in because it was gonna stick out anyway, guys. So that's there. Emok is finishing up this one. As mentioned earlier, we will do the windows next week after the puttying is done on those major walls. Michael's got his glasses on, pretending he's smart. Cool. Okay. Oh, fabulous. Eddie has got this wall up to the 180 mark. Yeah, 180. So that's good. Victor's going crazy over here. Good, good, good. Some of those Wago connectors being put in. I'll explain what's happening and why it looks a little bit un-Western. All right, so why does that electrical look so un-Western? Like sometimes, the headache just starts right there. It does, it just starts right there. He literally can't think with those wires being inside 2 square boxes and then just fold them back in place. So I said, okay, just do it free fold. Guess what I'm gonna do tomorrow? I'm gonna cut one of the boxes, allow all the ducts to go in, and then screw the cap back on. It just gets you right there sometimes. Okay, later, Gators.